What's up, guys? This is the Estovir podcast. Be a man. Um, my cousin and I, we're trying to deliberate what the name would be, or what the title would be. But I mean, as everything regarding the human race, everything can change. So you guys can give us your suggestions of what you think the name should be, or the title should be. But man, we will go with the flow, and we would always push to try to give you guys the best of us. So, cause man, it's great to have you here.
Avi.
It's really great to have you here. This has been in the works for a while, though. Thankfully, not too long.
Yes, it has. It has really.
Yeah,
It's really good to be here, to be honest. And to
yeah.
see you doing your thing. Roger that. Well done.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I mean, I won't be here if you weren't a part of this. So today's topic, I think today's topic is kind of it's really wide, but I mean, I have no idea. We're just trying this out. We're just coursing through this as every man is coursing through life. Today's topic is what maketh a man. So, what is our definition of a man? Who is a man? What is manliness? So, in your honest opinion,
Yeah.
who would you say or what would you define a man as?
I mean, from my own experience, I mean, I'm like 40 now, so what they tend to call middle age, I guess. In my own experience, I'd talk about, I think that the grassroots start from um, your relationship with your father. So I think that's where the grassroots
Hmm.
starts from. And whatever your father presents to you is the first thing you believe it should be, right? Right or wrong,
Oh,
right? And I think that as you now gravitate towards school, you start seeing examples of what other people do, which is why you come home sometimes and you get a spank. Oh, we don't do that here. That's not the rule. You get that kind of thing because now you're seeing other role models and stuff and other fathers. Then the movies kick
hmm,
in, you know what I mean? And then
hmm,
this combobulation of, oh, what, and society is trying to tell you this, parents are trying to tell you that, and fathers and stuff. But in a nutshell, for me, I'd say first and foremost, I think it's uh, I would go with your sense of self, right? And I don't like to use the word confidence. I think sense of self is where it starts,
hmm.
and sense of self comes with identity. Who do you see when you look in the mirror? Who do you see, and then
Wow,
who do you want to become? That's
that's
where
deep.
I would go with that first. And that's for me, that's the grass level of who are you, who do you see yourself as, first of all, and then who do you want to become. The in between is now the variables of that, and what determines that is out there, and we can get into that later. But
Wow. I think the first thing you said about the father's role, I swear I have never thought of it that way in terms of, manliness. Because when I was picking out the topics, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, manliness. It's about confidence, about drive, about perseverance. And then you literally just brought everything back. And I think that's what every man needs to learn to do. Bring everything back, reflect, start from the beginning. Who are
absolutely.
you? What do you see when you look in the mirror? Man, I love your response, man. I
Oh,
love
thanks,
that.
man.
I
Thank you.
really love that. I never thought of it that way. So this is to every man out there, to every boy out there. Whoever your father is who he is, yeah. But in the end, who are you going to be? Because of course, we're not going to have every father being a great role model. But then
Yeah,
you have a choice to be
yeah,
whoever you want to be. Man, this is crazy, man. This
yeah,
is
man.
crazy. So I have another question here in terms of masculinity and toxic masculinity. I think I
Mm,
am still even trying to understand what toxic masculinity is because in Nigeria, in
yeah,
Africa, we're still steps behind the modern world in terms of talking about feminism, in terms of talking about masculinity, or sorry, toxic masculinity. It's coming in, but it's not yet here. So I think my
right.
question is, what is toxic masculinity? Is it real? Is it a myth? Is it
Hmm.
exaggerated? And what
Yeah.
should we expect in the third world? And how can we make everything, I don't even know the word to use, but how can we handle this wave that is coming to us?
I think the first and foremost question, in my opinion, everything I'm saying is from my perspective and vantage point.
Yeah.
And people feel free to chime in and say their own two piece. But from where
Mm,
I am, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been outside the country for quite for a while. Let's just leave it at that, right? And
mm,
um, and I'm gonna say something that is a bit crazy, right? The social dynamics and the norms of male to female relationship out here, in my opinion, I think they it's hit or miss, right?
mm,
And I think there's people have to take into consideration what culture is and where
yeah.
ours come from. And this could easily start throwing you back to colonization and what that
Mm,
did to us, and whether it's confused us, whether it's gotten us better, or if it's gotten us worse. That's a debate for another day. In my
yeah.
opinion, I think there's pros and cons to everything, right? Um, so when it comes to the talk of let's attack toxic masculinity, right? In the world of today, everybody has a platform. I could find a word, but
Mm,
my only question is, what's the validity of that word that I'm using? How do
deep.
we actually break it down to say, oh, this is real or this is not? Because that's the world we're going into. We're here
Mm,
talking, we got a platform, and pretty much we can say whatever the hell we want, right? But
yeah.
where I'm hoping that we obviously look deep inside, do a little bit of research, and then try to
Mm,
give people the best opinion or idea
yeah.
that we have, and then let them go do
Yeah.
the, and they can see if it works for them or test things that we put out there or not, right? At the same
Yeah.
time, we could be terrible and just bring out statistics that nobody will ever investigate, right?
That's
and,
deep.
and just throw it out there. So the word toxic masculinity for me is is already a negative, right? Because if and I feel like it comes down to also accountability and responsibility, right? If you
Mm,
make a choice and you make a bad choice, isn't it okay to say I messed up rather than saying he has done this, this, and this, so he is this? Where does the blame fall? You know what I mean?
mm,
That I look at it. So it's a double-edged sword, right? And
yeah.
I don't think I think that the name should be changed. If let me use example, if Kazim has done something wrong, you cannot blame it on Kane there tomorrow and say Kane Day and James and John are doing the same thing.
That is
That's a
that is true.
that's a blanket right there. And I feel like it's a very dangerous trend. I mean, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the in between I was talking to you about, between self and where you want to
True.
go, and then mentorship. Excuse me. And there's a lot of things that go in between, right? Anytime a man shows his protective side, and that's what I call it, because to protect, you must have the ability to protect. You can't just
Yeah.
exist and say, I can protect, right? And if the world has showed us anything over time, it's that the more powerful and stronger in their ability to protect people are, they have dominated Earth. Ergo,
Mm,
colonialism. If they
mm,
weren't, if they didn't have the
straight
power, they
up.
wouldn't have been able to do it, right?
Straight
So,
up.
so the question is, was if their ability to protect, is that toxic or not? Or is it dependent on how you use your power now makes it toxic, right? Exactly. So when I look at it from that perspective, being dangerous means, like, there's a saying that a snake without fangs is a belt, right?
Oh
And I found
my
out, hey,
God. That
you
is
know what?
funny. That is
Exactly.
funny.
Exactly. So you're a man without the ability to protect.
Hmm.
What exactly is that supposed to be? You're a man, but you can't protect your family.
Wow.
Even if okay, even if building their ability to afford people who can do the protection. My question is, how
Deep.
do you protect your family, right?
Deep.
Okay. Because if that's the fundamental, if your wife, girlfriend, kids, whatever it is that you have beside you is the you cannot protect them. They should not be with you,
Wow.
as far as I'm
That is
concerned.
deep. That is deep and
Yeah.
so true.
Because it's their fundamental, fundamental, what do you call it? Need is security for any human being, and I'm talking
Hmm.
physical security first. So
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if you don't have physical security, you must have the mindset to at least detect where danger is and avoid it at all costs for the safety of your loved ones. And then be able to maybe hire or use your brain to get people who are much stronger than you physically to be around you guys. You know what I mean? Strategically, obviously. I don't think any woman wants a man who depends on another man's muscle, unless,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
you know. But
That is deep.
yeah,
That
so
is deep,
I'll
man.
keep it that short, but obviously there's more to it. And I will
That is
also
cool.
our next episode there's a list. I got someone asked me once, um my young brother is turning 20. What are the 5 things you recommend for him to as he grows into becoming a man? And I made a list and I'm gonna try to get it in my next podcast, just so
I
I can
love
maybe
that, man. I love that. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear that. That'll be so cool. That'll
yes.
be so cool. I think the last thing I would say is just a recap of what you just said. And this is to every man and young man out there. What is your current ability to protect your loved ones right now? Can you protect your loved ones? What is your plan to protect your loved ones? What are you doing to achieve those goals? Because clearly, the man is a natural protector. Is a natural protector. So, guys, don't come at me. I'm not here saying women are weak. I'm not. No, no. This is not what this podcast is about. We are not claiming to be the best or the most intelligent or the most professional. We're just giving our
We're
humble opinions.
we're
Agree,
we're
disagree.
yeah,
I'm with
we're
you.
talking about physical strength here, right? For
I
me,
mean,
in reality, when it comes to that, I'm not saying you don't have women in the military that can run what we call
mm,
security strategies and do
mm,
all that. They have training for that. Roger that. Carry on. But when we're both born, right?
yeah,
I'd say
yeah,
7 times out of 10, the dude is going to be physically stronger. So
yeah,
that's tends to be the basic, and I'm talking the Neanderthal basic approach to
yeah.
safety and security. You understand? I'm
Deep.
not talking about training and then advancement and stuff. Of course,
Exactly,
you know what I'm talking
exactly,
about? Basic. So
exactly.
I would expect, a man. And personally, I do not think, and this is my personal opinion, I do not think that in a relationship where the woman has more physical strength than the man, I do not think that the woman generally feels that deep rooted, basic animalistic attraction towards him. Not
Yeah,
saying that she can't love him, just saying that there's a primal process to that balance.
that's very true. That's very true. I don't think I know anyone who would deny that.
Well, you'd be shocked.
Oh man. So I think my final question, this is to the people who would listen to this. Women, men, what do you think? Can you be with a man who is physically weaker than you? Men, can you be with a woman who is physically stronger than you? I'll end it there. Man, because it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure. This is the first podcast. I'm sure there'll be tweaks. I'm sure there'll be little things that we could have, worked on. But hey, man, we have actually started it, and I think that is great enough for me. We've
No,
started it, and we can only get better.
Roger that. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. I really, really appreciate you taking the time out for this. I really do. I
No
really
problem.
do.
Anytime.
Yeah,
Let's do this again soon. Yeah.
definitely. Thanks so much, man. Let me
No
sign
problem.
out.
All right, signing
Uh,
out.
Cheers.